everyone. So here I am just showing you how to make a snowman. I know some of you have asked how to do this one. So here we go. We're going to make a little snowman that looks like that or like that. You can pick whatever colours you want. I'm going to put the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. But basically it's just using fondant in your hands to roll them. So I move those to one side. To start your snowman, you need to roll 3 balls of white fondant. Now fondant you can get in the supermarket quite easily. You can get most colours. You can get it from places like Hobbycraft, Lakel and sell it anywhere really, or you can get it online. Fondant is like edible Play-Doh, and you need to knead it quite a bit just to get it nice and warmed up. The more it's warmed up, as you can see I'm just stretching it here, the easier it is to work with. But this is a really easy way of doing a snowman. So once you get your fondant nice and warmed up, you want to make 3 balls. So you've got a small, medium and a large to make the body and the head. So let's roll 3 balls there. Go for my third one. So there we go. 3 balls of fondant. Now we're going to stack them up. They should be relatively sticky. So they will just stick to each other. You can always use a little bit of water if it's not. And then I'm just going to use a cocktail stick to hold it all in place like that. So then you've got your body of your snowman. Now the snowman needs some arms. So you need to take a little bit more of the white fondant. And you need to roll 2 balls that are probably about the size of a large chickpea kind of thing, small grape, Malteser even. So once you've rolled those, you roll a ball, you pop it in your hand, you just roll it back and forth to create, oops, didn't do that very well, to create a wiggly arm. And you're just going to stick that to one side of your snowman's body, like that. Then you're going to roll another one and do exactly the same on the other side and just squidge that into place. So there you do have a snowman with his arms, but not a lot else at this stage. Next stage is to create a hat for him. Now again, this is just using your hands. I've got a nice pale limey green colour here which I fancy using today, so I'm going to break a bit off of that and get it nice and warm. So you've got a ball of fondant which is about the size of a grape. Actually might make it a little bit smaller, so small grape. And you're going to roll that into a nice ball. So this is going to be the base of the hat. To make that, you just pinch it slowly and keep turning it until you get a flat disc shape like that. If you find that your fingers are getting sticky, you can always dust them with a little bit of icing sugar or corn flour if you have any to hand, just to help dry them out. So once you've got the brim of your hat which you're happy with, you can just pop that on top of your cocktail stick like that. And he currently looks a bit like a Frenchman with a beret on, but we're going to make the main part of the hat now. So you want to take a bit more of the same colour fondant, or you could do a different one. So we've got probably another grape-sized piece of fondant to roll. And this time you're going to roll it into a ball. You've got your ball, and then I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put it in my left hand and hold it like that. And then I'm going to turn it in my thumb and forefinger till it starts to create a cylinder shape. As you can see, it's starting to appear more like a cylinder shape, more like the top of a snowman's hat. So there we go. So I'm going to just pop that on the top, and that hides up your cocktail stick, and your snowman has a hat. Now obviously he needs a scarf as well. You can again choose whatever colour you fancy. I'm going for a bit of yellow today, so my yellow's a bit stiffer, so it needs a bit of warming up first. There we go. once you have it all warmed up, you're going to roll it into a ball again, and then you're going to use your finger to start rolling it flatter. And then as it rolls out longer and longer, you can start to use 2 fingers and then 3. And then when it gets a little bit more unwieldy, you can always, I'm just move my snowman up to one side there. You can always pop it on the ground, on the work surface even, and roll it gently back and forth to create a nice long sausage, or wiggly worm, whatever you want to call it. So there's my snowman scarf. That's quite nice and long now. I think that's probably long enough. Again, you can do it as long or as short as you like. I'm just going to wrap that round his neck and pop it in place and just push it down. So there we go. There's my snowman now. He's now got a lovely warm scarf and a nice hat, but he doesn't have any features yet. So you need to give your snowman a little nose like that. So you can use a bit of orange fondant, but if you don't have any orange, then another way you can make it, colouring 101, colours 101, is to get a little bit of yellow and add a little bit of red to it and just massage it together until you come up with a nice orange colour. Or you can just use yellow nose if you want, entirely up to you. Again, or you could use the black and turn it into a coal nose. So I've got a nice orange colour there now. So I'm going to take a tiny bit of fondant off there. It is really small, this bit. As you can see, little tiny, about 1/2 centimetre in diameter probably. I've rolled it into a ball. And to make the nose, I'm literally going to just roll gently on one side of it to make a point. So you can see that it's quite pointy at one end now. As you put it on the snowman, it will squish a little bit. So I'm going to stick that straight onto my snowman. If it's not sticky enough, you can dab it with a tiny bit of water and then stick it on. So I'm just going to push that onto the front there. That is sticking for now. So he's got a nose. And the next thing he needs is some eyes. So you want to take some black fondant, like that, and you want to roll a couple of really tiny balls. So I've got a couple of bits of fondant there. I'd always do the black last, or make sure you wash your hands in between, because it does tend to come off, as you can see on my fingers. And then you don't really want to be doing light colours and getting nasty, dirty black streaks in it. So I'm just going to roll a couple of balls and make sure they're roughly the same size for his eyes. They're probably the size of a pinhead. So there I've got my eyes. I'm not going to flatten them on my hand because that makes it much harder to put them on. The easiest way to do it, again, if you need a bit of water at this stage, you can. And you're just going to push one eye into place on one side. And you can flatten it on the face. And I'm going to push the other one into place on the other side. So there we go. So all you need to do now is some buttons for his tummy, which is the same way as I did for the eyes. You're going to do the same for the buttons. So you roll little balls of fondant like that, and you're just going to pop them into place. Again, if you need water, then you can dab a little bit on with a little paintbrush, just a tiny bit, just to make the surface a little bit stickier. But my fondant's quite sticky at the moment, so it's sticking on. And there's the last one. On it goes. There we go. So there you have it, your little snowman ready to go with your gingerbread house.